Hey guys, so today we're going to learn the double crochet stitch. And just to let you know, I'm still using worsted weight yarn, and this time I'm using a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. So the first thing we're going to do is make our slip knot. And then I'm simply going to chain 7. Now when you were doing the single crochet stitch, you would skip the first chain and work into the second chain. But when you're working the double crochet stitch, you're going to skip the first 2 chains because the double crochet stitch is 2 chains tall. Now some patterns will actually have you skip 3, but it just depends on the pattern, and mine I usually skip 2. So right now we have 7 chains. We're going to skip the first 2 chains and work our double crochet stitch into this 3rd chain. Now for the double crochet stitch, you yarn over on your hook, then you're going to insert your hook into that 3rd stitch, yarn over on your hook again, pull that yarn over through that first stitch. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over on your hook again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over on your hook again, and pull through the last 2 loops. So as you can see, this makes a pretty tall stitch. We're going to go ahead and do 4 more of those in the next 4 chains. So before the double crochet stitch, you always yarn over on your hook, insert into the stitch, yarn over on your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now I have 6 double crochet stitches right here. The first 2 chains that we skipped counts as a double crochet stitch. So just like the single crochet stitch, I want to turn this. But instead of just chaining 1, I'm going to chain 2 and turn to start working back the other way. This also creates the braided pieces on the top that you work into. So the chain 2, since it counts as my first stitch, I'm going to skip this first braided piece right here. Instead, I'm going to yarn over on my hook and insert it into the 2nd stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And this is because this chain 2 takes the place of that first stitch. See how it looks like I have 2 stitches on here now, but one of those is just the chain 2. And you just continue on down the row. Now the very last double crochet, you're going to have to work into the top of that chain 2 from the previous row. Double crochet can be kind of tricky because I usually count. So the bottom row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the top row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can be really easy to skip a stitch when you're working double crochet because the chain 2 that you do at the beginning before you turn, sometimes people forget that that counts as a stitch and they need to work into the top of it. So here's my chain 2 down here that I did in this row. I need to make sure that I do a double crochet into this stitch. Another mistake people make when working double crochet is they forget that this chain 2 counts as the first stitch, and they'll work into this stitch, and then they'll have 2 double crochets where they should only have 1. And the double crochet stitch is taller than the single crochet. It's about 3 to 4 times taller. So there we go with our third row. So that's a double crochet stitch, and you chain 2 every time you turn, unless your pattern says otherwise. Different patterns want different things usually, but the norm is to chain 2 before turning. Just to let you know, there is a link down in the description to every part of the Beginner's Guide to Crochet, so you can click around on all of the videos just to navigate and look at what you're having trouble with.